Luna's Bedtime Stories. A Tale of Two Cats. One sunny morning, as Mrs. Yu sipped her morning tea by the kitchen window, she watched Luna, their beloved black cat, peer longingly outside. Luna's emerald eyes were fixed on the world beyond the glass, and a soft meow escaped her lips. Over time, Luna had grown more confident with outdoor exploration, thanks to Sunny's gentle encouragement. But now there was a deep yearning within Luna's soul, a desire for freedom and curiosity brewed within the once shy black cat. Mrs. Yu, who was highly attuned with the feelings of those around her, could sense that it might be time to let Luna venture beyond the confines of their backyard on her own and fully trust their precious baby to spread her wings. With a deep breath, Mrs. Yu opened the sliding glass door, allowing Luna to step out into the lush greenery of their backyard. The breeze ruffled Luna's sleek fur, and her whiskers twitched with excitement. "Go on, Luna," Mrs. Yu whispered. "Explore and enjoy your day." Luna hesitated for a moment, her eyes flicking between the familiar backyard and the unknown world beyond. But then, with a graceful leap, she crossed the threshold and entered the wider neighborhood of Bayville. Mrs. Yu watched Luna from the window, her heart filled with a mix of pride and concern. She knew that Luna's adventurous spirit was meant to be nurtured, even if it meant allowing her to explore the world beyond their home. Luna turned around and gave Mrs. Yu one last look before starting her journey, as if she were saying, "I'll be home before dark, Mum." Then Luna zoomed down the winding streets, past colourful houses and through quaint gardens. She felt the wind in her hair and the sun in her eyes. The fresh air felt so nice on her fur, and she loved walking around leash-free. Luna didn't hesitate to explore hidden nooks and climb gentle slopes. As the day passed, her confidence grew, and she navigated the neighborhood with grace. The neighborhood of Bayville became her playground, filled with new sights, sounds, and scents. Her soft paws padded proudly along the sidewalk, and her emerald eyes sparkled with anticipation. As Luna strolled through the town, she discovered a world filled with wonders. She encountered friendly squirrels who chattered in the trees and graceful birds that danced in the sky. Luna's heart swelled with excitement as she made her way to the neighborhood park, where children played on swings and families picnicked on the grass beneath the shade of towering trees. Amidst entering the park, she noticed a flash of color darting between the bushes. Intrigued, Luna approached cautiously, her ears perked and her tail held high. From behind a cluster of flowers, Caramel, a playful light brown cat, emerged, his amber eyes filled with curiosity. Caramel couldn't resist introducing himself. "Hello there," he greeted Luna with a friendly meow. "I'm Caramel." Luna, usually reserved and quiet, found herself captivated by Caramel's friendly demeanor. She responded with a soft purr and an elegant nod, acknowledging her new acquaintance. She hadn't had many pleasant experiences with cats in the past. When she was still at Mrs. Thompson's pet store, most of the cats bullied her for her black fur. But this new cat didn't seem to mind at all what Luna looked at. In fact, he looked quite happy to see her. Just like Luna's origin at Mrs. Thompson's pet store, Caramel also had a captivating backstory that added depth and mystery to his friendly personality. Caramel had spent the early days of his life as a curious kitten in a nearby garden. Born to a loving mother cat, he had explored the world around him with wide-eyed wonder. Life in the garden had been a delightful adventure for young Caramel. He had chased butterflies through the tall grass, pounced on fallen leaves, and climbed trees with fearless agility. It was during these early escapades that he had honed his love for exploration and developed a playful spirit that would define him in the years to come. However, as Caramel grew, he began to sense a longing for more. His curiosity about the world beyond the garden's boundaries had deepened, and the allure of Bayville's enchanting neighborhood had become irresistible. He now considered himself an expert on their charming town. As Luna and Caramel began to converse, they discovered they shared a love for exploration and a fondness for sunny spots. Luna shared stories of her own adventures, like the time she went camping with Sunny, while Caramel regaled her with tales of climbing trees and chasing fireflies beneath the moonlight. The two feline friends decided to explore the park together. Luna and Caramel chased each other playfully through the grass, their tails held high like banners of friendship. They leapt after fallen leaves and chased their shadows as if they were elusive prey. Time seemed to fly by as Luna and Caramel frolicked in the park. Their laughter echoed through the trees, bringing smiles to the faces of families and children nearby. Tired and out of breath, Caramel led Luna to the park's fountain for a drink. The two lapped away at the refreshing water as it spewed out from the ground. "I could go for a snack right about now," remarked Luna. "All this playing sure does work up an appetite, am I right?" replied Caramel. "Well, I know the perfect place for a sweet treat. Follow me." Caramel led the way out of the park and onto Bayville's main street, which was lined with all kinds of different shops and smells. Their culinary adventure took them to Mr. Kim's bakery, renowned for its delectable pastries and the warm, welcoming aroma of freshly baked bread. Caramel often sat outside of the windowsill and watched with fascination as Mr. Kim skillfully kneaded dough and shaped exquisite treats. He was considered a regular at this point. This time, the two cats imitated the bakers inside and took turns making biscuits on each other's fur. It looked as if they were bakers themselves. Mr. Kim spotted them through the window and laughed heartily at the adorable sight. The kindly owner was a portly man with a perpetual twinkle in his eye. His flour-dusted apron was a testament to his tireless work in creating delectable treats. Mr. Kim came outside and greeted Caramel, who he had grown accustomed to seeing every few days. "Caramel, how are you, my boy? And look who we have here, a lady friend?" remarked Mr. Kim, his accent adding a touch of charm to his words. Caramel meowed loudly and rubbed himself up against Mr. Kim's leg. "Oh, aren't you sweet? Wait right here," Mr. Kim replied before rushing back inside. Luna and Caramel watched intently as Mr. Kim selected a pair of freshly baked cinnamon rolls and gently placed them on a small plate. The rolls were still warm to the touch, and the sweet fragrance enveloped the bakery. With great care, Mr. Kim set the plate on a low table by the window, where sunlight spilled in, creating a warm and inviting spot. "These are for you, my dear friends," he announced, knowing that Luna and Caramel would appreciate the treat. The two cats approached the plate with grace, their eyes locked on the cinnamon rolls. Luna, ever the epitome of elegance, delicately took a bite of the pastry. Caramel, his playful spirit shining, dove right in, his nose dusted with cinnamon. As they savoured the delightful treats, Mr. Kim watched with delight, his heart warmed by the simple joy of sharing a moment with his feline friends. "There's nothing like a freshly baked cinnamon roll to brighten one's day," he remarked with a chuckle. Luna and Caramel purred in agreement, their tails swaying contentedly. Luna had never eaten cinnamon rolls before, and she cherished the delicious taste. Caramel's tour didn't stop there, and he continued leading the way through Bayville's charming streets. They discovered the secret garden behind Mrs. Patel's tea shop, a serene oasis of blooming flowers and trickling fountains. The garden was a haven of lush greenery, with vibrant flowers in every colour imaginable. The path meandered through a perfectly manicured lawn, under a trellis laden with climbing roses, and past a bubbling fountain that added a gentle, soothing ambience. Mrs. Patel, the gracious owner of the tea shop and garden, had cultivated the space with love and care. She welcomed visitors to her secret sanctuary, providing a serene retreat from the outside world. With graceful steps, Luna and Caramel entered the garden's sanctuary, their eyes wide with wonder. The dappled sunlight filtered through the leaves overhead, creating a play of shadows and light on the lush grass below. They found a secluded spot where the sun spilled through a canopy of leaves, creating a warm and inviting patch of golden light. It was the perfect place for a cat to bask and luxuriate in the sun's embrace. With the grace that only cats possess, Luna and Caramel settled down side by side, their sleek fur absorbing the sun's radiant warmth. Luna closed her emerald green eyes, and Caramel tilted his head up to the sky, letting the gentle rays caress his light brown coat. Luna sighed with relief. "This is so romantic," she purred. In this peaceful haven, time seemed to stand still. The garden was alive with the soft rustling of leaves, the delicate hum of bees, and the occasional song of a distant bird. Luna and Caramel basked in the tranquility of the moment, finding solace in the beauty of nature. Mrs. Patel, who often tended to her garden, noticed the two cats enjoying the spot she had carefully nurtured. She poured 2 cups of refreshing lemon water and brought it out for them to drink like royalty. The customers in her tea shop oohed and erred at the sight of 2 beautiful cats sunbathing and cuddling. It was a picture-perfect moment. The dynamic feline duo's adventures through Bayville celebrated the town's vibrant community and the warm-hearted shop owners who made their explorations all the more delightful. Luna and Caramel had not only discovered the hidden treasures of Bayville, but had also forged a lasting friendship with each other. Time seemed to fly by. Meanwhile, Mrs. Yu couldn't help but keep a watchful eye on the clock, eagerly awaiting Sunny's return from school and Luna's return from wherever she was. She knew that Luna's adventure was an opportunity for their young cat to grow and discover, but she also longed for the moment when they all would be reunited. It was her first day without both of her babies, and her maternal instinct couldn't help but fret a little bit. As the afternoon sun dipped lower in the sky, Luna knew it was time to head back home. Caramel, too, had a curfew he needed to abide by, and could sense Luna was tired from their day of adventures. "Can I walk you home, Luna?" Caramel asked with a smile. "I know you're still not completely used to being an outdoors cat yet. I want to make sure you get home safely." Luna replied shyly. "I was just about to ask you to do so, actually. Would you mind, Caramel?" "Not at all. It'd be my pleasure," the gentlemanly tabby replied. Luna began leading the way through familiar streets, past colourful houses and bustling cafes. They reminisced over the day they shared, how yummy the cinnamon roll was, how lively the park had been. As they approached Luna's familiar garden gate, she paused to turn and face Caramel. Her emerald green eyes were filled with warmth and friendship. "Thank you for the most wonderful day, Caramel," Luna purred, her voice a melodic symphony in the quiet evening. "I'm not sure what kind of day I was expecting when I set out alone this morning, but it turned out better than I could have imagined." Caramel, his amber eyes reflecting the fading light, nodded in acknowledgement. "Likewise, Luna. Thank you for a wonderful day. We'll have to do it again soon." Mrs. Yu, who was still catching glances through her window at any chance of Luna's return, silently spotted their sweet moment. With their goodbyes exchanged, Luna slipped through the garden gate and into her backyard. Caramel watched her go, making sure she made it inside safely. He knew that their adventures were far from over, and that this was only the beginning of their bond. From a distance, Mrs. Yu watched Caramel's silhouette disappear into the twilight, knowing that he had a home to return to as well. Luna had arrived home just in time, as Mr. Yu picked Sunny up from school not too long ago. Sunny's face lit up with joy when she saw Luna and opened the back door for her. "There you are, Luna. You're home," she exclaimed, scooping up her adventurous friend into a gentle embrace. Luna purred contentedly, sharing tales of her day's adventure with Caramel through silent meows and nuzzles. "I'm so proud of you, Luna. You went outside all by yourself," Sunny continued to exclaim. "I knew you could do it. You're not a scaredy cat at all. You're the bravest, fiercest cat there is." As the Yu family gathered around Luna, they couldn't help but smile at the transformation of their once shy cat into an adventurous explorer. Luna's day of making new friends and discovering the hidden wonders reminded them that sometimes the most incredible adventures are just beyond the backyard fence. The bond between Luna and Caramel was also a testament to the magical moments that could unfold when two kindred spirits meet. Despite her poor experiences with other cats in the past, she realized that it was important for her to keep her heart open to the opportunities at making sweet new friends. From that day forward, Luna knew to seek Caramel out whenever she wanted to explore Bayville again. The end.